living better days. Hot chick in a black Corvette, like she drove right out of a magazine. And oh,
Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Today we're testing out the Marc Jacobs Shameless Foundation, and for the record, I actually got this for review purposes from Influenster, and I'm in the shade Fair Y110, which of course is like the lightest shade. Here is what the packaging looks like. I feel like it looks kind of like the L'Oreal shampoo bottles, like for kids, which is kind of cute, but a lot more high-end. And in the package you get 1.08 fluid ounces, which is a little bit higher than normal foundations, but it's nothing too crazy. And let me double check. So on Sephora it says it retails for $46, which definitely isn't cheap in terms of foundation, but I mean I have spent that much for But I have spent that much for foundation and ended up liking it. For example, the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation was like 50% off, and I do really like that foundation. But I also think that you can make foundation work that is drugstore, but it just depends upon your preference. But this one does have a few features that are unique. But it has SPF 25, and it has anti-flashback properties. It said that it had like snow mushroom, which is similar to hydroxylic acid, which I'm not super familiar with, but apparently it helps promote like hydration in the skin, and it's good for people with dry skin. So I feel like this foundation will help me out, hopefully. For $46, I feel like it should have decent coverage, and I feel like I should be able to use a small amount for a good coverage. For primer, if you guys are curious, I'm using in the center of the face the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer, and all around the face I'm using the IT Cosmetics number 50 serum, and this is like an anti-aging primer, and it's really moisturizing. So I'm gonna apply half the face with my beauty blender, and this is the Eco Tools beauty blender, and then the other half I'm gonna apply with a brush. So here is the side with foundation, and this is just the regular side. I mean, you can definitely tell a difference, like it's covering like some darkness I have a little bit in the eyes, but I mean it's still leaving a few spots. Like I have a little bit of like a redness spot and like freckles on the sides of my face and everything, and like on my cheeks that are still like noticeable. So I wouldn't say it's like full coverage. I would say it's more on the terms of CC creams, which is kind of nice coming up around summertime, but I just wouldn't advertise it as medium coverage. To be honest, I don't usually like applying foundation with a brush. I usually always apply it with a sponge. I just think it looks nicer, and there's not like those stroke marks. So we'll see how it applies, and then I'll decide if I want to blend it out further with my brush or with my sponge. Sorry. So here it is completely blended out on the face. I did end up going in just with a sponge on the other side because it did show a lot of streaks on this side. So I think it does blend out the best with a beauty blender. But I still stand by what I said with it being just like a CC cream. I can still really see a lot of my freckles, which isn't a bad thing either. But it covered up enough where I feel like it's a good... just kind of like a CC cream and not too much coverage and just letting your skin kind of come through. Feeling kind of a more natural vibe, so I'm going to try to use the Milani eyeshadows, and this is in Plum Basics. Set my whole eyeshadow primer with the white shade, and this is just called the base. And just follow the directions on the inside, and then it says this one is the contour shade. It wants us to take the dark purple shade in the outer crease. In the center of the lid, I'm going to take this kind of pink shimmery shade. For liner, I used the Stila Steel Liquid. Alright, and that completes the tutorial with the Shameless Foundation. We'll have to see how it wears throughout the day and give it my final thoughts at the end. But at the moment, I think my skin looks pretty nice, and it applied all the makeup that I applied on top of it looks nice as well. So we'll see how long it lasts. It implies that it lasts for 24 hours. I think that's a pretty long time and a pretty big claim, but I usually don't have too much trouble with foundation stain. My trouble spot is like my nose. Sometimes I get like dry patches on my nose, and then occasionally I'll have like a little bit of oiliness on my forehead and like around my chin area, but that's about it. So we'll see, and I'll check in with you guys later. But anyways, that's the completed look. So I'm just checking in. It's about 9:30, and I put the foundation on around 6. So it's been about 3.5 hours, and it's still looking pretty good. There's a little bit of shine on my nose, but nothing too bad. And my lipstick's gone too. I just ate pizza. And you can see a little bit of my pores along here, but nothing too crazy.